Good morning. Happy Monday. It is 8:39, February 26. Woo! We almost through that month of February, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that. That's a fridge magnet. Right there. That's a fridge magnet for you. I don't put it on my fridge. I put it right here in this little cute corner. I hope everyone is well and killing it. Mondays can be hard, you know, so just good job already. Actually, I've always actually really liked Mondays because it's when I have the most energy, it feels like, at least. Kind of like well rested from the weekend and all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, baby? Boy. But today we got a word. Yes, we do. We's got a word for you, baby. And it's titled Agility, Aging, and Acing That Shit. I had some thoughts yesterday about my injuries and health, and I was like, wow, this is real, you know, like we really do have to take care of ourselves. And I think it's something that we don't talk about as much, you know, aging, but it's beautiful and it's a gift from God. So we got some Bible verses to go through, and I have a personal anecdote from my life I'd like to share before we get into the word. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being a subscriber, commenting, liking. Any view is appreciated as long as the gospel is getting out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, baby? So I think it was like, I don't know, 3 mornings ago. I was standing outside the bodega, and my friend Indy came by. She lives in the same building as I, so we like hugged for a quick sec, said, hey, how you doing, all that stuff, caught up for like a tiny sec, and then she was like, you want to walk with me? I gotta go up here, you know, like run this errand up the street. And then I was like, I wish I could. I gotta take it easy on this old gal, because my knee, as much as I like hate to admit it, it's fucked. It's fucked. My days of, you know, God can heal anything, but for now it's the way it is for a reason, and it's just like going up that hill is too much. If I go slow, you know, but she was like going quick, and I didn't want to slow her down. So I was finishing my sentence, but she finished it for me, and she said, because your knee? And I was like, yeah, gosh. And then I kind of like looked down at my feet, and I was like, I had a cup of coffee in my hand, and I was like, does that make me old now? Am I like, because I like can't do shit as much as I like used to, like? And then she was like, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was being a good friend, and she was like, no, it just means, I can't remember what she said, but she was swooping in with the comment that kind of helped me out in that moment. But you know, we have to realize that a certain time and day we might get tapped on the shoulder by the, you know, like, and then your abilities, your athletic abilities, and the injury, like it does affect you. Like, and I think there's a lot of people that have like their life in like a viewpoint of like, for those who have sustained injuries, where it's like before the injury and then like the after injury, and there's like 2 different versions of their perspective of their life, of like where, like I just saw like on social media and stuff too, like this was a long time ago, like Billie Eilish, like there was like a little beautiful clip, short of her doing like this cool dance like in her backyard, and it was like Billie Eilish pre-injury, before the injury. And you know, I kind of was like, yeah, cool. So it is something that can happen to any human, like and just getting older, like personally, I'm not going to get into all my health issues, but I did like get diagnosed this year. Was it this year? Last year? It was 2023. With carpal tunnel. So I've used my wrist quite a bit. You know, I used to be a secretary, paralegal, a lot of typing, you know, that type of thing. And I painted houses and stained log cabins. So my wrists have seen a good amount of work. And I'm honored that I've been able to put work in. That's cool. I do believe God will give me all the right things and agility to continue to be able to do even motherly functioning in the future. That's something that I've personally worried about. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Holy Spirit. This is something I wanted to share. The moment, you know, I got out of that doctor's appointment, I called my dad, and I was crying, and I said, yeah, I just as I suspected, like, they said it's carpal tunnel. And I just found this, there was like a track and field and park and stuff. I just sat down on one of the bleachers and was like, you know, crying and talking to Dad, and said, you know, he was there with me and prayed over me and stuff. And I just said, but what about when I need to hold my, like, future babies? Like, my wrists need to be strong for that. Like, I guess I can put most of my weight, like most of the baby's weight, like on my hip, and like try and sustain that. But like, what about like breastfeeding or bottle feeding? Like, you need your wrist, Dad. Like, what am I? And I was like, you know, devastated, because I'm only 28, and to get that diagnosis this early is kind of a testament to how much work I've put into these hands, which is cool. It's cool. And there needs to, yeah, you know, like, I was bummed out by the official diagnosis, because for years I had been suspecting, you know, I felt the tingling and the numbness waking me up in the morning. I drop things, my finger pads get sensitive, and then like holding just like regular thermos was like too much, and I had to like transition into like a lighter weight coffee mug, like even things like that. So I was crying, and I was on the phone, and I was like, but Dad, like, what about like my future babies? I want to be able to hold them, and like, I need my wrist to do shit, like, and I was like upset, you know. And then I said, you know, at least I can still like, you know, like, I guess have the baby, and then, you know, like, maybe God will send me a man that can hold the baby for me. And I was like so sad and devastated, and like feeling really you know, for better or less words, hopeless in that moment. And right in that moment, because God is always with us, we're never alone, he sent two little bumblebees that, there was two of them, like right as I said that over the phone to my dad, that came and buzzed over this little dandelion that was right next to my feet. And I knew that was God's way of saying that he had a man for me, like, planned in my life that would help me with that. And I thought that was so sweet and gracious of him. And you know, that was like an answered prayer in that moment, like a quick communication from God. And I know that there's plenty others out there that can share beautiful stories too, where they were in that moment of despair and God came through with a message. And it was just like right at that moment, I like happened to look down and I couldn't even like see anything. My vision was so blurred. I was sobbing, you know. I was really you know, feeling the emotions of an official diagnosis from a doctor after doing the whole like testing and stuff, and got the paperwork for ordered splints for my wrist and stuff, and like it felt so official, and it felt like I was doomed for like just that moment in that morning of like, you know, maybe this is more powerful than I, but you know, God's always way more powerful than anything in this universe. And so right as I said that, two little bumblebees that were flying together, like landed on a dandelion right next to my feet, and there was two of them, and I just know that was God. I've been meaning to share that. I just didn't know when it was going to come through, but Holy Spirit just like reminded me. So, you know, aging. It's something that it's like kind of taboo, I think, to even discuss, or health diagnoses or health issues. Like but I'm bringing it to light because it's part of everyday life. Chronic pain is something that most Americans suffer with. But pain isn't a sexy topic, So people don't come out and like share the struggles about body and aging. I think as much maybe as it should be exposed, it should be shared. It should be so we can all understand we're human together. And there's no that's the other thing too. There's no shame in aging. There's no shame in developing conditions over time. It's part of life. Let's go to Ruth 4:15. It's gonna be a good word, you guys. Okay. And he has become a restorer of your soul and one to nourish your old age, because your daughter-in-law, who does love you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has given birth to him. Blessed be Jehovah, and this is starting at 14, Ruth 4:14. And the woman began to say to Naomi, Blessed be Jehovah, who has not let a repurchaser fail for you today, that his name may be proclaimed in Israel. And he has become a restorer of your soul and one to nourish your old age. So he's literally here with us from even before we're in the womb, all the way until the end. He will nourish our old age. He will be with us. There's a lot of blessings and perspectives of gaining wisdom as we grow older. It's a gift to be able to reach that point. There's a certain peace, I imagine, when I guess like old lady Kimberly, like I see like a very peaceful woman, I guess, like say I'm in a rocking chair and there's like grandkids running around and I'm just filled with peace, for my life is behind me and God granted me so many beautiful blessings throughout it. So I'm doing that to like heal my perspective for myself too. And I like sometimes make jokes with God too about like how I might need help wiping my ass like when I'm older. Like, God, we're getting old. Sometimes I like say we as in like, because I know he like knows my body and feels the pain that I feel, and so sometimes I just kind of say like, okay, God, let's do it. We can do it today. We're getting older, but we can do it, type of thing like that. I would say that keeping a light heart is the opposite of cynicism, and that's a good way to evade the grasp of bitterness as we age, because it can be hard to maintain that agility and optimism as we age, because there's physical pain involved with aging. So I try and see it like that. There will be a significant amount of peace where I'm just like chilling in that rocking chair. Maybe I'm knitting or crocheting. Probably embroidery. And I'll have like peace, like, wow, my life is behind me and I've accomplished what I've wanted to accomplish, and God was there with me throughout all of it. And there'll be more wisdom in our minds at that time of our life too. So there's a lot to look forward to. Let's go to Psalm 71. Psalms is a pretty big book, isn't it? 70. Am I tripping or? Look, it says 70, and then it just goes to 72. Where's the 71? Let me see. I know I write them down because I try and avoid those websites with all the advertisements that make you accept in order to read the Bible verses. Good heavens. But sometimes Psalm 71, 17 through 19. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Now also when I am old and grey-headed, O God, forsake me not until I have shewed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth. This is Psalm 71, 17 through 19. And hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Now also when I am old and grey-headed, O God, forsake me not until I have shewed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come. Yeah, I just kind of blown away by the power of that verse. This is another alternative version. Since my youth, God, you have taught me, and to this day I declare your marvelous deeds, even when I am old and grey-headed. Do not forsake me, my God, till I declare your power to the next generation, your mighty acts to all who are to come. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? That is so gorgeous. Wow. He's here with us, and he has a plan for us to make an imprint and impact the next generation, and then give them power for the next generation to come. So we're really all here for each other, and yeah, you know, we're like the pieces that God has created so that we can thrive together and gospel to one another and commune with one another for the generation, for the power of continuing the lines, the generations of Jesus. Like we're literally, our lives are, 80 to 90 time span, 80 to 90 year time span where we're blessed with trials and tribulations and then also moments of beautiful, marvelous deeds and blessings. But it's so that we can gain wisdom and share it with the next generation. I think that's why the Bible says be fruitful too. I'm kind of just like learning this too as I go. Pretty cool stuff, man. And let's move on over to Isaiah 695. Oh, sorry, that's the page number. Isaiah 46:4. Even to one's old age I am the same one, and to the one's grey-headedness I myself shall keep bearing up. I myself shall certainly act, that I myself may carry, and that I myself may bear up and furnish escape. Even to one's old age, I am the same one. He is the same today, yesterday, and forever. He's the Alpha, Omega, the Mighty, Almighty. Even to one's old age, I am the same one. And to one's grey-headedness, I myself shall keep bearing up. I myself shall certainly act, that I myself may carry, and that I myself may bear up and furnish escape. Wow. Wow. And then we're going to finish with Job. Job 12:12. I hope everyone has a really awesome week, and thanks again for listening to this word. So we have, is there not wisdom, Job 12:12, is there not wisdom among the aged and understanding in length of days? Yeah, it just made me think about, I was on a live last night, I was a part of another YouTuber's live, and they were talking about how the eyes are the window to the soul. Like the comment in the live feed, we were kind of talking about how to know if we can trust them or not. And then people were saying, you can tell by someone's eyes. Other people were saying by the fruit of the Spirit. And I just think, it kind of made me think, when you're older and you're having conversation with grandma or grandpa or an elder in your family, you can see in their eyes like so much life. You can see so much. And so I'm understanding too that in this Job 12:12, is there not wisdom among the aged, and understanding in length of days? So by the time somebody's 80 or 90, they've had a length of days. With him that are wisdom and mightiness, he has counsel and understanding. So no matter how hard life gets or how aging can be unbearable at times, we can be thrown curveballs, and there's not a medical resolve like that. We have to endure and suffer sometimes until we receive that breakthrough or God's grace and God's healing. And so, we're 100% saved by the mentality, according to like Job 12:12 here, that there's always going to be wisdom no matter how much pain we go through, and that is the precious gift to be able to share with others. There's something really, really special about a person who goes through trials and tribulations and hard days, and uses that to help others. There's something so beautiful about that, and very special. It takes a lot of strength for the person to come out of the victim mindset, see and observe, ask questions, gain clarity, commune with God, and then testify with others. This is what I went through. If you're going through it right now, there is an end to your suffering, and this is the example of how I got out of it, based off of prayer, based off of worship, based off of my relationship with Jesus. It really is a sign of a leader to use the pain that you go through in life and to not let it win. I know that was the other subtitle of the video today. In parentheses, I have "Don't let the pain win," and it's because aging is painful. And so, no matter how tough this gets, I used to kind of think that aging and getting older was like the burden of life, but actually I see now, after some of these verses and just chilling this morning with God, that it is the blessing, because that's the wisdom we gain. And you could not, a baby doesn't have that wisdom of an 89-year-old. The baby and the toddler, they're eager and joyful and can't wait to experience life. The 80 or 90-year-old is at peace and chilling in the rocking chair, and they have their whole life behind them. They've already done it. They've already gone through most of what they're going to have to go through. And that's the wisdom. And then it's up to you, though. It's up to you, though, to share the transmutation, the transformation of what painful experiences you might have gone through in life. And it's up to you to share it. The other option is letting the pain win and becoming bitter and not better. So we have our prerogative in life to claim. And if it's, okay, I'm not a victim, this is life, nobody is immune to the effects of bodily aging. Okay, I'm not alone in this. Let me just share with others how to reduce the suffering. Let me just share with others how to glorify God as I age, and understand that the real blessing is wisdom to share with others. What is the point of all this, the pain that we experience individually, if we're not going to try and support one another? There's some things that people experience in life that are so awful and painful and disturbing and unusual amounts of heinous like abomination of abuse, like things that can't even be brought to words. There's such darkness in the world that sometimes it can't even be put into words, and those are the things that thrive in dark and quiet places that often don't get spoken out loud. So remember that next time you feel okay, like, I am going to share what I've been through, and maybe somebody else will be delivered, because I'm having this moment where I open up and expose the hard times I've been through. And maybe it'll make somebody else feel less alone. Maybe it'll make somebody else feel like they're able to escape what feels like they're currently in a prison. Maybe it'll, maybe it'll piss them off first because they realize it's the truth, but then maybe later it'll set them free. We never know what a word can do for people. So, yeah, aging, agility, and acing that shit. And don't let the pain win. That's the word for today, you guys. I love y'all so much. You know what comes next? Stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay chosen. Peace.